radicalized. So we know a little bit more about the shooter. Apparently the shooter today was a Bernie supporter and a big fan of Rachel Maddow and MSNBC. And I saw a tweet in which somebody referred to him as radicalized by Maddow and Marr and some of the left. And my first thought was, well, that's a funny word because they're just making a comparison to terrorists who are radicalized. And then I thought, no, that's not an analogy. It's not an analogy at all. He was actually radicalized by mainstream media. I don't think there's any way you can, I mean, can you see it any other way? It's really hard to imagine that today's act of terrorism really would have happened if the mainstream media had not radicalized this guy and essentially approved violence. I mean, once you've decided that the other side is Hitler, and you know, and that Hitler is ruining the world in a land full of guns, you really are radicalizing your population. Crazy is crazy? Well, wouldn't that be true as well as for most of the terrorists? I mean, anybody who becomes a mass murderer for whatever reason, I think it's fair to say that no matter how they would come out on a mental test, that they are fucking crazy. I mean, it's just, you know, if you kill a bunch of people, I don't need to hear your reasons. You know, unless it's a context of war or self-defense, don't tell me your reasons. You're fucking crazy, right? It doesn't matter if you're a terrorist and you think you're making the world better for your God or whoever. It doesn't matter why. And so when this guy tells us his why, well, he won't tell us because he's very dead. But you know, when I'm sure it'll come out what his problem was and what the why was. But do we care if he, you know, had mental problems? Apparently he ran a business. Did he die? Yes, he died. Shooter is dead. Well, that's my understanding. Oh, he's not dead. Is that true? He's not dead? Does somebody have more current information? All right, so I'm seeing dead. Okay. Yeah, dead is what you want him to be. You want that guy dead. So somebody asked me, is there anything about this situation, tragic as it is, that would be a positive in terms of maybe reducing the level of vitriol and hate on the left? In other words, could this be a wake-up call for the left and for the Antifa and those folks to say, well, maybe we should just disagree with the policies and stop turning the other side into a bunch of Hitlers? And my first thought was, no, nothing really changes. You know, this isn't the sort of thing that changes people. And then I saw that word radicalized. And then I realized that that's not even an exaggeration, that this guy was radicalized by the left into thinking that, imagine being so hypnotized, so brainwashed, so radicalized that you think this was a good idea. Oh, I better get a high-powered firearm and start killing the people on the other side. That doesn't happen because you were just sitting in your car listening to Rush Limbaugh or some damn thing. I mean, that happens because you've been fed a stream of hate that does sort of leave room for this sort of thing to happen and be within the acceptable range, within that crazy point of view.